grade. This is elementary school. Hello? Hey guys. This is gonna be a little bit of a different video. This is gonna be a story time video because I'm home alone right now. I've been home alone for the past like 3 days and I haven't abused my power and screamed at the top of my lungs in my house for very long. I got sick. I'm actually still sick and my stomach feels like shit. But I'm gonna do a video because I haven't done one in a while and I want to get some content out for you guys. You know, I love my fans, but so it's just gonna be me talking. Hopefully I'm entertaining enough. So I'm gay. That's gonna be my segue, actually. That's what I'm deciding is gonna be my segue. But I didn't figure that out until about late middle school. Elementary and middle school, I went to an extremely conservative, very small school district. Like in the middle of butt-fuck nowhere. Everyone there hated gay people. So obviously, a lot of internalized homophobia, a lot of like, I felt like I needed to be straight and I felt like I needed to have that relationship. So before my first queer relationship, I had 3 straight ones. And they were all literally awful. So let's talk about it. Okay, boyfriend number 1. His name was Sawyer, and that's his actual real name, and I'm going to say it because he was a dick. So Sawyer, I dated from kindergarten. We're getting to that. I dated him from kindergarten until early 4th grade. I would say we stopped dating very early for 4th grade. A lot of people, when I tell them that, they're like, oh yeah, that didn't fucking count. You can't date someone in kindergarten. You don't even know what it means to date someone. Which, like, yeah. None of these really count. None of these really count. I always consider the last relationship I had, the queer one, as my first and only real serious relationship. But these are fun stories, so I'm gonna tell them. So yeah, kindergarten. So it was very like, we played like house and were like married when we played house in kindergarten. And we just said we were dating because that's a thing that we heard of and agreed that we were dating. And it just kept going, and I dated him until 4th grade. He was weird. He was very weird. I mean, I went to his house a few times. It was strange. I think I went to his house in like 2nd grade, and he had a tree house in his backyard, and we went up there, and I don't know, kissed a few times. I don't fucking know. It was a tree house, that's what you do. It was like, I don't want to get super into it, but I was fucking, that treehouse I never want to go back there again. It was not fun, this relationship I had with him. I thought it was great at the time, you know, as a stupid little elementary schooler. But yeah, there's just a lot of bad shit associated with that. And I mean, looking back at it and looking back at him, he's like a drug addict now. So, you know, I think I dodged a bullet with that one. Last I heard from him, he was getting arrested. So, you know, it's a little bit of a, you know, a good thing I ended that relationship. And the way that it ended was very funny. So like I said, I dated him up until early 4th grade. And the reason we broke up is that we were standing together in the lunch line because we're boyfriend and girlfriend at that time. At that time, and so you would stand in the lunch line together because that's what you fucking did. We were just standing in the lunch line together. I mean, I wasn't like paying attention to that. I was just like waiting to get my fucking food. And he turns to me and just dead ass in the middle of like the elementary school lunch line asks me if I want to have sex with him. I'm just gonna let that permeate for a second. We were in 4th grade. 4th grade. Elementary school. How did he even know what that was? And so I look at him, because I'm fucking smart. I'm a smart person. I'll say that. I look at him and I go, fuck no. I had only literally just recently found out what that was. You know what I mean? It's like, I literally look at him dead ass and I go, no, I'm breaking up with you. In the middle of the 4th grade lunchtime, I break up with this guy. I literally, the person ahead of me, like, must have heard this whole conversation, and I also, like, slightly knew him, and so I asked to, like, switch spots, so there was a person in between us, and I literally looked at them, and I was like, can I go ahead of you? And they were like, yeah. And I, like, literally switched this person, so there was a person in between us. I broke up with him the 4th grade lunchtime. This is always a fucking crazy story to tell, because people just don't believe, this is a thing that happened to me. Like, genuinely, I was dumbfounded that is how it happened. Because I already, like, 4th grade, I was getting to the point where, like, ooh, I don't really like this guy anymore, so, like, I'll probably have to break up with him at some point. Last fucking straw was asking me to have sex with him in the 4th grade lunchtime. Elementary school, okay. And also, it gets worse. You would think that would be the end. It gets worse. So later, and later, I mean, like, maybe 7th grade, so I'm in middle school at this point, and, like, he still goes to the same, like, middle school, like, he still goes there. It's like, my friends at the time, and we were talking about old boyfriends, and I had mentioned, oh yeah, I dated Sawyer from, like, kindergarten to 4th grade. 2 of the other girls in the group look at me like I just, like, said something insane. And both of them were like, yeah, he dated us too, the same time. This is how it breaks down, all right? I'm gonna back up a little bit so I can throw a little graphic on screen. Me, I dated him from kindergarten until early 4th grade. Girl B dated him from, I think, early 4th grade until very recently, so like maybe 6th or 7th grade. And girl C dated him from like 2nd grade until 5th grade. And so there was a portion of time, early 4th grade, where he had 3 girlfriends, including me, at the same time. He was dating 3 people in 4th grade. This is elementary school. I shit you not, this is a thing that we talked about this for like an hour. We were just like sitting down trying to figure out like what happened. We were like sitting down trying to figure out when we were all dating the same guy. Oh, bye Brennan. And we figured out that he is dating all 3 of us in this like portion of early 4th grade. He was dating all 3 of us. So that's that guy for you. Yeah, he was kind of an asshole, and like I said, last I heard of him, he was getting arrested. So, you know, he probably deserved that. Okay, the second guy that I dated was now late 4th grade. So we're past Sawyer, late 4th grade. I'm still in elementary school. And I have a crush on the most popular guy in elementary school. We're gonna call him Efron, because he reminds me, like him, like as a person, reminded me of the main character from High School Musical. And I don't remember what his name was in the actual movie, so I'm gonna call him Efron, because I think he was played by Zac Efron. I'm gonna hope he was. So yeah, I had a crush on the most popular guy in school. We're gonna call him Efron. Oh shit. My friends are texting me. I gotta fucking tilt my head to read my notifications. All right, we're gonna call him Efron. I really liked him. He was like, he played hockey and he was like a super like cool guy. He had like a hockey mullet, but he was in 4th grade, so it was cool. And I knew that as an uncool, like nerdy little 4th grader, I had no chance with this guy. And I liked him, no chance with this guy. I was like, fuck, how do I get closer to this really popular guy without being a creep? Spoiler alert, I still was a creep to him. And if you're watching this, Efron, that's not your name, but if you're watching this and you know who you are, I'm sorry. And so I would try to get closer to Efron. And I had no chance with like getting in with his friends, so I would just like try to like hang around him. I was a fucking creep. I remember distinctly, it was wintertime. And in the winter, if it was like warm enough, but there was still like snow out, the teachers made you bring your jackets out, but a lot of people threw them on the bench. There was like a bench. A lot of people threw their jacket on the bench and like went to go do shit because they didn't want to have to lug their giant like winter coat around. I live in Minnesota, it gets fucking cold here. And so we were outside and I was playing in the main playground area. And Ephron and all of his like sporty friends were doing, I think, like football in the field, which is like over here. And the teachers start yelling that people need to put their coats on because it's like dropped below a certain temperature that we like have to put our coats on. So I put my coat on and I realized that, oh, no one in the field can hear the teachers. And as a creep, I knew what jacket Ephron's was. And so I picked. I've never told this story to anyone because it's genuinely so embarrassing because why was I a stalker in 4th grade? I pick up Ephron's jacket and I bring it out to the field and I hand it to him. Because obviously they see this I'm like dead sprinting through the field. It's like fucking icy, I'm like slipping all over the place. I'm dead sprinting in the field and they see me running up. They're like, who the fuck is this person? And I hand Ephron his jacket and I go, they're making people put their jackets on. He takes it from me. And the look on his face, I have a super bad memory and I hardly remember anything from my childhood. The face that he made of me is like ingrained in my brain because it was the most, how the fuck do you know that that's mine and why are you bringing it to me? I don't even know who you are kind of look that I've ever been. Like, it was insane. And so I'm like awkwardly like, okay, and like his friends like come up and are like, what the fuck's going on? And I'm like, I didn't bring any of your guys' jackets because I don't know what they are. And I like just literally dead sprinted out of there. I was a stalker is what I'm trying to get at to Ephron. And like me being a stalker to him clearly wasn't working. I had to get more creative than that. So let's say Ephron's here and I'm here. I want to get closer to this guy, but there's a fucking gap. Cue boyfriend number 2. Boyfriend number 2 was Ephron's nerdy best friend that I knew because he was a nerd. So boyfriend number 2, I dated for 3 months, and the only reason that I dated this guy was to get closer to his best friend. That's right, ladies and gents. I was not romantically attracted to my second boyfriend at all, only to his very popular best friend that I knew I had no chance with. Like I said, I was an asshole. This is like my darkest day. I don't know how to describe it, but this is the reason I should go to hell. Like, that seems super aggressive, but genuinely, I was probably the worst 4th grader on that fucking playground because I like genuinely dated one of the nicest people at the school. Not because I liked him, but because he had a best friend that was more popular than me that I wanted to date to climb the fucking social ladder of elementary school. So yeah, this is actually an open letter. To boyfriend number 2, I'm not saying your name because you're a nice person and I don't want to like sully your name on the internet for, I don't know, 50 people to see. I'm so sorry. If you're watching this and you probably know who I am, and you are recognizing yourself in this story, I'm literally so sorry. Like, genuinely, from the bottom of my heart, I apologize. Let's move on to the last guy. Okay, we're gonna take a little break here in the middle. In 5th grade, I had a crush on another popular guy. But in like middle school, when you had a crush on someone and you wanted to talk to your friends about said crush, would you make up nicknames for your crush so that you could talk about them to your friends while they were around and they wouldn't know who you were talking about? Because we did that. If you did do that, please give your like fucking wildest nicknames for your crushes in the comments because I actually want to know because that's hilarious. It's such an hilarious concept in my mind, like looking back on it. Because why the fuck did we do that? In 5th grade, I had a crush on a guy, and I was my height in like 5th grade because I had just like stopped growing at that point. And the guy I had a crush on at that point was probably like here on me. And so me and my friends decided that our nickname for him would be Short Stack. Because I thought it was funny that he was shorter than me. Yeah, we're gonna call him Short Stack because that's what me and my friends called him. I'm sorry. I was extremely awkward in 5th grade. And so I wrote him a love letter. And it could have been something super cute that I like, you know, like I could have made him like a poem and I could have like done something cute and yada, yada, yada. But I was unoriginal in 5th grade, you know? I hadn't started writing fan fiction at that point, so my vocabulary was 0. So I found a song I like and I wrote down the lyrics to the song because it was a love song, and so I was like, oh, this is cute. I wrote down the lyrics of the love song and I put it in his locker and I signed it like anonymous or like something stupid. And the next day, I did this at the end of the school day. And so the next day, he gets into homeroom. I'm in his homeroom, and he walks in, and he's holding the note. And he goes over and sits with his friends. And then a few other people crowd around him, because like, what the fuck's happening? Why is everyone crowding around this guy's desk? So Short Stack, he opens up the note, and he goes, and like turns to his friend and goes, I think it's a love letter. And so all of his friends are like passing around and reading it, and like laughing and shit. And by this point, like almost half of the homeroom had gone over there. So I was like, well, fuck it. I'm gonna go over there and see what they're saying. So I go over there and they're sitting there trying to figure out who wrote it. And Short Stack hands it to me and I have I have a heart attack. And I take the note and I read it. And I was in choir at this point. And so I look at him and this is the love letter I wrote. And I look at him and I'm like, I'm in choir, you know what these look like? And Short Stack goes, what? And I go, these look like song lyrics. You should Google them and see what song comes up. Like an idiot, I did that. I told him they were song lyrics, straight up. And he did put them into his school computer. He did type in the song lyrics and press enter. And you know the song came up? It's a good fucking song. But you know what the title of the song is? I'm not even gonna say it. It's a good fucking song. Alright? It's by Chevy. It's on my playlist right now, because guess what? It's good. But the title, which has nothing to do with the lyrics, by the way, the title, he presses enter, the song pops up, everyone starts laughing. And at this point, I'm regretting all life decisions, because I realized that he's not going to look into the deep, heartfelt meaning of the song lyrics that I put in. No, he's only looking at the title of this fucking song. And so, in my mind, in that moment, I'm sitting at homeroom, it's fucking 8 in the morning. In that moment, I realized that I was never going to tell him that it was me that wrote that. And that's what happened. At the end of homeroom, I watched him put the love letter in the recycling bin, and he never spoke of it again. And to this day, he does not know that I wrote it. If you went to my old school, hi guys. Again, open letter. If you went to my old middle school and you got a love letter and you never figured out who wrote it, it's me. I wrote it. I did that. And I'm sorry. But it's a good fucking song. Okay. Anyway, the third guy that I dated was in middle school. I would say it was maybe 6th grade. So this guy, his name is Zach. And I'm gonna say his name because he's also an asshole. Zach would come over to our public school from his like Christian private school to take our math classes because they were better. And so he would only come in for math class. So I only knew him for math class. And the way that math class was set up was that there were like regular seats. And then in the back, there were 2 spots to stand. It was like a raised table and there were 2 seats where you could stand in the back of the class. And by the time that I got into math class on like the first day, there were only those seats left. So I go back there. And then Zach walks in late because he'd come from his private school and he stands next to me. We get to talking, we become friends. It's now halfway through the year And at this point, we've been sitting together in the back, like talking with each other and being like math partners for a hot minute. The entire math class, like collectively, starts shipping us together because they think that we'd be in a cute relationship. This is a PSA. Please don't ship real people, okay? Don't ship content creators together. Don't ship me with any of my friends. Don't ship anyone in your real life with anyone else in real life. It's fucking weird. It's so strange. And if you're using internet terms like ship applied to real people, you are doing something wrong. Okay, anyway, so yeah, the whole math class starts shipping us together. And at this point, like looking back, I was oblivious because I was an idiot. But looking back, Zach definitely liked me and had liked me for a while. And so when the math class starts gossiping and saying that we should date, I was like, I don't fucking care. But Zach, in his little brain, was like, this is a perfect opportunity. This is what I'm thinking anyway. He didn't tell me this. But Zach was probably thinking in his brain, I already have a crush on this person. Why don't I say that I was dared by people in the math class to ask them out and then date her, essentially. I'm gonna use her. He was a Christian kid. I was a girl at this point, so like, you know, he wasn't that progressive. And neither was the school. I just want to reiterate that point that I was a girl at this point. And so he was like, okay, I'm going to use this situation to ask this girl out. And so he comes up to me at the end of class and goes, hey, I was dared to ask you out by my friend. Like, do you want to date me as a dare? And I said yes. So I date Zach for 2 weeks so that he can get his $20 that he was dared to ask me out for and date me for. I dated him for 2 weeks. Nothing, like, we don't hang out ever besides from like math class. And 2 weeks is up and he like breaks up with me. And I don't know, we were still like friends, I guess. He still went to that middle school for math classes. And he eventually became friends with a guy that would go on to microaggress me for being gay. Yeah. So yeah, in the later years, I would say like 8th grade, this is my last year here, his best friend now is the resident like crazy homophobic kid, and I just come out publicly as gay to anyone that would ask because I don't know. So his friend was now the crazy homophobic kid, and so he was slowly becoming homophobic, and I was one of the only out gay people in the entire school. And so it's my last year going to the school, going to the school district. So, and it's June 1st. We're still in school for another few weeks. And June 1st, hey, it's Pride Month, you know, I'm gay now. And so I had done like crazy eyeshadow makeup. It was like rainbow eyeshadow makeup. And I had worn it to school because, hey, it's Pride Month and I'm gay. And I'm walking out of my like maybe second hour. And Zach walks out, and then his crazy homophobic friend walks out. And the homophobic guy looks at me. He's like, it's like middle school. He's like 6 foot, like 6'4" maybe. It's like, he's massive and he's like giant. He basically was like a football player. Giant guy. And he looks down at my makeup and tells me, you shouldn't wear that in public. I'm sorry? And then he crosses his arms and is all aggressive. Zach behind him. That wasn't a tick, that was him nodding. Zach behind him, like, yeah. So yeah, I dated him for 2 weeks, and then he went on to be homophobic towards me. What he'll do, you know? I don't know how to end this video. I think it's safe to say that I'm glad that I'm gay now and also not a girl trying to date men anymore. If that makes sense. Because I was clearly bad at it. I was clearly shit at being straight. Thank you so much for listening to me rant about my past relationships and the crazy people that attended my very small, very country elementary middle school. That's the end of the video. If you want me to do more story times, I probably could scrape something together. I don't have like I said before, I don't have a great memory, but I'm sure that I could think of something. Thank you so much for watching. Subscribe if you aren't. I will post stuff eventually. Thank you. All right, bye.